Alright, we're going to try this again. Expect a little bit quiet today because this is the day after the wisdom teeth removal. Everything went well. I tried to make this last night, but ended up releasing some bodily fluids from my mouth, as in blood. So I stopped making the video. But we're going to make it today, just a little bit quieter than usual. And we're going to be talking about Maxar earnings. I really wanted to talk about this one. And the surgery decided to stop me from doing that yesterday, but we're going to talk about it today. So, as you see, Maxar was down 4% after hours after being up 2.75 in the normal session when the whole market was relatively flat yesterday. So, I'd like to see why they jumped down. You see, originally they jumped down pretty far, somewhere around 5%, a little over 5%. So, they recovered slightly from that, from the conference call, but we're going to look at these numbers. So, if you look at the numbers, they're not pretty. Maxar reports a GAAP EPS of negative 80 cents, missed by 38 cents, so twice as unprofitable as expected. Not a good number there. And revenue of $381 million, which is down 11.6% year over year, missed by $34 million. That's a pretty big miss, all things considered, too. There, so not the most exciting thing if you're Maxar. But Maxar is 2.8% lower. After hours, its Q1 results came in slightly below consensus as revenues fell off in its space infrastructure unit. Despite that, the company pointed to bookings momentum in order to contract today to build 1,300 class communication satellites. Brings total bookings in space infrastructure to over $700 million year to date. And puts us on the path for another year of backlog growth from this segment. Pretty cool. Overall revenue fell 12%. Don't like that number, but net loss hit $48 million. Not horrible, but that incorporates a charge of $18 million tied to the current pandemic and $14 million tied to a design anomaly detected in a final satellite test procedure. Excluding those, net loss would have been $16 million. Shoot, trying to make myself sound better for you. I'm trying. EBITDA was $77 million in the positive. That's good. It would have been $109 excluding the charges. By segment, Earth Intelligence segment was up 6.7%, but the Space Infrastructure segment was down 37%, and that space infrastructure is going to be like the parts that they make. So they make a lot of parts for NASA. But clearly that was down because there hasn't been much focus on space really in a little bit. Earth Intelligence is more of their photo taking and pictures segment. So liquidity at the end of the quarter was around $500 million with no significant debt maturities until 2023. So that's good news for them. One thing I did want to mention as far as this revenue is concerned, if you look, it's obviously not beautiful, but if you think about a company like Maxar, it's more of a long haul type company. Space it's a big it's going to be a big segment in the future, but we're at the point where probably it's not going to be as massive until 5-10 years out from this time. It's not like it's going to grow super rapidly in the next 5 years. I don't think it will. So you have to consider that when investing in a company like this, it's probably going to be a long haul, which if you're in for that, that's fine. There was a time, I will say, I made a video on this back in 2019, saying to pick this up at the $12 range, or I should say it was somewhere around the $8 range when I made that, and then it shot up pretty high, up to around past 20. And obviously, if I would have gone with that investment strategy myself, I would have been happy. But I sold out somewhere around the $11 to $12 range, so still made a nice 30% profit, but that's fine. I do taste a little blood coming on, but we're going to keep going on this one. Whew, gosh, this is going to get bad. Okay. So, key points from the quarter include consolidated revenues of $381 million. Diluted loss per share from continued operations was $1.30. So, results of this quarter reflect progress on a multi-year strategy to strengthen our company and position it for revenue, profit, and cash flow growth. I don't know if the cash flow has necessarily grown, but Importantly, we closed an MDA divestiture, which helped improve the balance sheet. We generated solid revenue growth in Earth Intelligence, and quarter-over-quarter consolidation, backlog growth. So pretty cool. There's positives about this thing, but again, there's not going to be major updates for a while on this company, all things considered. I don't know. If we look year over year as far as this is concerned, the net loss technically did improve, but year over year revenue was down pretty big, so that's part of why the net loss wasn't as bad. The only other thing I'd like to probably take a look at is the balance sheet. So I'll go do that, get some gauze in my mouth probably, and stop this bleeding again. So let's see, where's this balance sheet at? Here it is. So assets here, not a beautiful balance sheet, all things considered. Total current assets of, let's see, these are in millions. Okay, not as bad. Of $1 billion. This versus a $1.2 billion number last quarter. So cash burn was certainly there, and you see the same difference between that. But 4.8 billion in terms of total assets in general. Total liabilities, though, getting a little close there. 828 million and 4,000. What am I talking about? 4,232 million in terms of liabilities. So really not much difference there. Right around 600 million, which again, 600 million is a lot of money, but $600 million difference in terms of liabilities and assets. It can be a slight concern with a company that's still reporting loss numbers, but it just all depends on what you think is going to happen. So Maxar signs a lot of deals with NASA, and if NASA is going to keep them alive, then they'll keep them alive. But I think this is a company that will get enough investments because of what they produce that I think they'll be fine in the long run. So I really did hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this and have a good time with it. So I will be hopefully recording another video later today about Tilray, and if I do, I hope you enjoy that one.